Conference. Take a look at our Esurance lineups tonight. First for UT San Antonio, the Roadrunners, Michael Hale and Cannon Burridge. At guards, Jordan Sims, Jeremy Hill, and Larry Wilkins across the front line. Cannon Burridge, the leading scorer for this club, the senior from Moline, Illinois, averaging 18 per ball game. And for the Oregon Ducks, who stand 5-1 on the year, Dominic Artis, Damian Dotson, the two outstanding freshmen. Artis from Oakland, California, Dotson from Houston. Arsalan Kasemi up front, playing in his 5th game with the Oregon Ducks, a senior transfer from Rice, who's been a rebounding sensation here. E.J. Singler, Mr. Dependable, the leading active scorer in the Pac-12, up front along with Tony Woods. Big front line, all seniors for Dana Altman, now in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, coming off a 24-10 season last year. Brooks Thompson in his 7th year. Brooks out of Oklahoma State, class of '94, played a couple of years at Texas A&M, 2 years at Oklahoma State, was a first-round draft choice of the Orlando Magic in 1994, and played for several teams in the mid-90s in the NBA. Dana Altman, of course, is the winningest coach in the history of Creighton basketball. 16 years there, 327 wins. And with a win against UNLV recently, then ranked number 18th in the country, won his 50th as the head coach here at Oregon. He is 50-29 on the year. I'm anxious to see Arsalan Kasemi out on the floor, Ernie. I've not seen him play yet live. He has started now his 2nd game in 5 appearances. A rebounding sensation, 9.5 rebounds per game, and steals. As you see there, he picks the ball away and is fouled getting down the floor, and Kasemi will head to the free throw line.
Not only is he fouled, but it is an intentional foul. I don't think I've ever seen that this early in the ball game. This is a young man that has outstanding basketball savvy. He just has great hands. You can see defensively, gets the ball. You can see the grab. That's an intentional grab, intentional foul. This is not the NBA. You can't do that here, and that's 2 free throws.
Kasemi was the national team captain on the Iranian national team, the captain of the under-19 team, which played in the 2009 FIBA World Championships in New Zealand in July. This is a world-caliber player here that has transferred after 3 years at Rice, where he averaged in 95 games, nearly 13 points and 10.5 rebounds a game.
I think he was shocked when I came up and spoke some Arabic to him after my 7 years in Saudi Arabia. His mouth dropped open. So we're going to have a little chit-chat after the game just about the Middle East.
Singler drops the ball inside, has it deflected, and you see Kasemi go up on the offensive end. He's getting nearly 4 offensive rebounds a game. He tips that one up and in.
If there's ever a player that you can talk about has a Dennis Rodman mentality to go get the basketball, that's what he is. He goes after every single rebound.
He is sturdy too, 6'7" and 226. Pass inside and wide open is Larry Wilkins as they drop it down to Wilkins for the bucket.
Both of these teams run some similar things offensively, and that time you had a double low post. Opposite big flashed, and then left a great pick and roll wide open play on the wing.
Waverly Austin in the lineup. He'll be starting inside, and they try to direct it in low to him. But Tony Woods coming off the bench tonight. Austin is the junior from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Take a look at Kasemi now and the numbers at Rice over 3 seasons.
Well, the thing that the numbers don't tell, here's a young man that's on course to score 2,000 points in his career and 1,000 rebounds. You know how hard that is to do that? I mean, all the time you hear guys scoring 1,000 points, 2,000 points, and 1,000 rebounds.
Artis fires off the 3, but UTSA turns it over. And Oregon will take possession of the basketball. Looking at Oregon's shooting numbers from the perimeter, they are a 30% three-point shooting team and have not been shooting it well from the arc. Hasn't stopped them, though, about 18 attempts per ball game. Nonetheless, they're still averaging 75 points a game.
Well, what's going to happen over time, you're playing 2 freshmen, you're playing a lot of new players. There has a little bit of rhythm to the movement there as it was on that dunk shot.
You're right, he's like a vacuum. Every loose ball he's getting to. Inside, again, UTSA powers it up to Larry Wilkins, the 6'4" undersized center. But remember, he weighs 250 pounds. He clears a lot of room inside. Trying to make his way into the paint is Dominic Artis and a charge on Artis. Take a look at Kasemi. After he threw the ball away, he gets it back on a deflection.
Well, he has a high basketball IQ and the ability not only to pick up the loose ball, but to one dribble and get to the basket and keep his body under control and dunk the basketball was the more amazing part of that play. Oregon plays a pressure man-to-man defense.
Michael Hale III knocks down the three-pointer. Michael Hale is from Federal Way near Tacoma, Washington, back in the Northwest. This is the first time the Roadrunners have played inside the state of Oregon. So a trip to the Northwest, a treat for the kids. Weather wasn't bad today, not like it is in San Antonio this time. Singler is ridden, and E.J. Singler fouled. Jordan Sims got him. That's his first. Oregon coming back after a 5-day layoff after playing and beating UNLV on their home court before better than 16,000. Big win for him. Jonathan Lloyd checks in now for the Oregon Ducks.
We always talk about managing the preseason schedule, and so far they've done a pretty good job. So Cincinnati becomes not a bad loss at all, a good loss, but a big win beating a team on their home floor, a ranked team. So Arizona, Oregon, Cal have all done a very good job of managing their preseason schedule.
Ducks were down 19 early to Cincinnati before actually coming back and taking a one-point lead with 7 minutes to go, and eventually lost that game. Ducks turn it over and breaking away with an advantageous bucket is Tyler Wood, the junior from San Antonio, getting some run now for the Roadrunners.
The Roadrunners also are an aggressive man-to-man team. They do a pretty good job staying between their man and the basket. And again, they're a small basketball team, so they're going to really have to focus on blocking out.
Kasemi over-aggressive, trying to get the ball back, and a foul on Arsalan Kasemi of the Oregon Ducks.
Boy, he just looks like a player, doesn't he?
He sure does.
He's got the body, the size,
every bit
shoulders.
of 226. Tony Wood steps in, 6'11" senior from Rome, Georgia. Wood's a transfer from Wake Forest, played his first year with the Ducks last year and played extremely well. Set a club record, single season record for block shots with 51. Handling it outside is Michael Hale. They drop it low to Tyler Wood. Out on top, and a bad miss there by Larry Wilkins, recovered by Kasemi. Lloyd in the front court to Singler in transition for three. All over the rebounds was Woods, but with better position inside Ernie was Burridge. Cannon Burridge is their leading scorer, number 3 in the pack. But for his second three-point attempt, Michael Hale knocks this down. UTSA has come out firing on top, 12-6.
Michael Hale is the best player on this basketball team for the Roadrunners, and you can see already he's very, very good on ball defensively, but also has a pretty good offensive package in his game.
Singler to the baseline, doubled outside to Lloyd. Rotating it for a look, and a sure-handed three is Damian Dotson, who had 19 in that win.
Did you say sure-handed?
Well,
you've got to call the bank from 30 feet.
He made me believe it.
It counts.
Burridge comes right back, and UTSA on fire right now against this Oregon defense. They've opened up inning 6 in the first 7, and there's a charge and a turnover, and UTSA will take over the basketball.
Michael Hale is an exceptional basketball player. He can put pressure on the ball on the defensive end, but offensively he comes down to
and really shocked him. And Albany beats Washington in a low-scoring game. Colorado State beat Washington as well in Seattle. First time they've lost non-conference back-to-back games since December of 2000.
Very important that you manage your schedule in the preseason. You need to have enough teams going forward so when conference play starts and you start to beat each other up, your RPI stays strong, and the conference RPI stays strong as well.
Cannon Burridge out there now, along with Thomas Hygie from Houston, Texas. Out of the corner. Firing is McHale. He has hit 2 threes already. Missed that one. Dotson on the run. Handing to Lloyd. Double. Kasemi will swing it right side. Carlos Emery in the lineup now for the Oregon Ducks. What a year he is having early on. 11 points and 5 rebounds a game for Emery. Woods has a step. Lays it in and is fouled by Wood.
The first time seeing this team play up close and personal, their bigs are really good because they're all mobile enough to get to the basket and finish at the rim. The thing that I look at a little bit is see how well they shoot the basketball. I want to see some guards jump up and knock down some shots that are not 30-foot bank shots. But so far, they have a great nucleus of bigs that are extremely mobile with the basketball.
Oregon opening up 4 of 9 from the field. San Antonio 6 for 8 from the field. Now full court pressure applied by the Ducks. Ben Carter a true freshman, good-looking freshman, 6'8", 219 out of Las Vegas, on the floor for the Ducks. He'll come to trap along with Carlos Emery. Get the ball out of the hands of Hale. Hale will skip across midcourt. Checked by Emery now. Carlos Emery, pound for pound, may be the best perimeter defender that the Ducks have. Out on the wing, follow-away jump shot. That is good. He eased into that one.
Well, he eased into it, but again, you cannot let a team come in here and get a confident rhythm to their game offensively.
Cannon Burridge, a leading scorer, knocks it down, and then coming right back is Dotson. Damian Dotson hits another three, the freshman from Houston, Texas. Out of Jack Yates High School. Hale comes across the screen. Carter tried to hedge, got a piece, and a foul called on the floor. Big weekend of college football in store in the Pac-12, featuring on Saturday Nicholls State in Corvallis to take on number 15 Oregon State. What a year Marcus Wheaton has had with 76 catches this year. Lloyd pressuring Hale, picked it away, then Hale trying to get it back in a collision, fouls him.
When you have a team that comes in off the road, a long road trip, it's very important that you establish your defensive intensity, the pressure on the ball, limiting them to one shot, and really control the tempo of the game. And right now, these two teams are kind of battling back and forth to see who's going to have control of that tempo of the game.
I asked you a moment ago during the timeout, Ernie, if the Ducks would possibly go small to counter UTSA shooting here early. They've not done that. They're going to stay with their script. Coaches, to a great degree, just stay with what they do, right? And then they want to force the other team to come to them.
Exactly, and particularly early in the game. I remember one time we played Stanford and they had the two Lopez twins. They made the adjustment to go small before they even came out of the locker room, and I thought that was to our advantage. You certainly, if you're a big basketball team, make that team pay for being small. Pound it inside, pound the glass. You should never adjust and go down unless you're struggling in the ballgame. Right now it's too early.
Carter misses on the rebound, put it up again, and this one wildly overthrown. The rebound to Enrico McGregor, the 6'7" junior from the Bahamas. They love that far corner of the gym, don't they? They've struck twice from over there, UTSA. That's Hygie with the strike. And now Emery comes right back, gliding to the glass to lay it in transition.
Great catch and finish by Emery to catch that at full speed, regain body control, and finish at the basket.
Michael Hale operating. The diminutive guard being checked by Lloyd. He's all over. Burridge fires straight away and knocks it down. This kid could shoot it. Cannon Burridge. Not shooting well on the year, 37%, but still averaging 18 a game. He's a near 40% three-point shooter.
Comes in from Moline, Illinois, right down the road from Rockford, Illinois, and he's the guy that's coming in with a lot of courage shooting the basketball.
Terrific players in that area, the Chicago, Illinois area. Carter comes down and he knocks it down. So both clubs now finding a stroke. Oregon 7 of 14, UTSA 9 of 11. Long rebound grabbed by Carlos Emery.
That was much better shot pressure that time by Dotson, forcing the miss on that jump shot. When you have a team that shoots the three very well, you need to pressure, take the three-point shot out of their arsenal.
Woods out high, sways left, moves right. Look at those long steps into the lane. He was shoved on the way into the air.
He actually should have went to his left. The whole side of the floor was cleared out on that side, but he had to come back with the right hand, but he should have just drove hard with the left, jump stop, and dunked it because he's so much bigger than the defensive player.
Tony Woods is going to go to the line despite the protests of Brooks Thompson, the coach of UTSA. The Roadrunners leading here 21-20. Brooks Thompson was a scorer in his day coming out of Oklahoma State.
He was a big-time scorer, first-round draft pick of the Orlando Magic. Coach with Rob Evans at Arizona State, so he's going to be familiar with the officials in the league. So he's going to ride him a little bit because he knows all of these guys on a personal note, having coached down there with Rob with the Sun Devils.
Brooks scored 21 points in a quarter, which is still an Orlando Magic record. It's incredible when you consider some of the scores that were down there. Penny Hardaway, Shaq, obviously. Nick Anderson.
Done a nice job with this basketball team. You consider a team at that level, they have to go on the road. This is the second of 6 straight games on the road. The reason for that, they have to make their budget. Get the paydays to make their budget. Hard to operate at that level.
Made the tournament 2 years ago, winning the Southland Conference tournament. And were beaten in the second round, third round of the tournament, actually, by Ohio State.
Oregon's one of the few teams in the West, certainly in the Pac-12 conference, that will press you after made free throws and really change the rhythm of the game. So it's very important that teams handle their press offense against an outstanding athletic quick team in Oregon.
Michael Hale operating. Entry pass, low left side. Jordan Sims with a three. That's off and recovered by Jonathan Lloyd. Lloyd's one of those change of pace guys that comes off the bench, feeding to Singler, Mr. Dependable. Nice find inside. And it's Waverly Austin to lay it in.
Understand again, the advantage for Oregon is inside. When you got 6'9", 6'9", 6'8" on the floor against a small team, establish the game in the paint, pound the ball inside.
Sims, the junior, double teamed. Carter nearly got a piece. Singler's there, 12 to shoot. Hale, top of the key operating. Wants to reset, looks at the clock, 7 to shoot. Nice crossover, blasts inside, flips it up, contact made, and a charge on Hale. Player control foul as he'll give it back to the Oregon Ducks when we come back after the timeout with 11:46 remaining in the first half. Oregon 25-12 and UCLA's head coach Jim Mora. What a great year he had in his first year at UCLA, all on the eve of the Pac-12 football championship here on the Pac-12 networks.
Both of these basketball teams shooting over 50% from the three and the field. Somebody's going to have to play some defense out here.
Here's a long rebound recovered by Sims of UTSA on the run. Singler recovers to turn him outside. Thomas Hygie handing off to A.J. Price, the freshman from the Colony, Texas, in the lineup now. They drop it low block, and with a step turning on the reverse was McGregor, but missed it. Dominic Artis, cross court to Singler, spots the seam, drives into the lane, and had it ripped away. Jordan Sims with a recovery. Rapid pace to this one, Ernie, back and forth, 64% San Antonio shooting right now.
Well, it's going to come down to who really wants to defend right now. A little bit more ball pressure by both these teams. A little bit more containment defense.
And again, come to trap with a big. Waverly Austin recovers, 8 to shoot. Price has got to make a decision now. Comes off a screen. Carter keeps it outside, and he used up too much time. Good stop by the Ducks.
I thought it was an excellent job about Oregon's defense understanding the pressure of the shot clock, but a very poor job by the Roadrunners not understanding time and shot. Too much bouncing around with that basketball and not really in attack mode, putting the pressure on the defense.
Ben Carter, the guy that came out there and hedged and closed out. And he'll go back to the bench now as Kissimmee will step back in. Dana Altman pushing the buttons here with Oregon on top by 4. Carlos Emery. He's a high wire act, isn't he? Pretty beautiful little scoop off the window from Carlos Emery. And then an alert, Dominic Artis steals the inbounds and lays it up and in. And the Ducks open up an 8-point lead.
Well, they open it up with their offense because they've got, again, their bigs are really mobile. They can get to the basket, and then defensively, they're starting to turn up the pressure a little bit more, making UT handle the ball a little bit better. And right now, they're not doing a very good job of handling the basketball.
Second steal for Kissimmee, who can handle and pass. Emery can dunk. That was impressive. And the Ducks open it up to 10, and UTSA needs a timeout.
Talk about a team, again, with mobile big guys.
Loaded up, and that front line, potentially, with if Wood starts, is a senior front line. As you point out, it's 6'7", 6'6" Singler, and Tony Woods at 6'11". They decided to start Waverly Austin tonight. He's a junior at 6'11". Great size for this ball club. And these two freshmen, Artis and Dotson, know how to play within themselves as well.
They certainly don't play like freshmen.
Singler, the overplay, the steal ahead to Artis, the pump fake, and the lay-in. Just like that.
With just that play alone, typically a freshman would have went up and laid it up. He did a nice job with the jump stop, the shot fake, let the defender get by and finish the play.
Into the lane with a beautiful little Euro step is Jeremy Hill. The junior from Cairns, Australia, is fouled and will go to the line with a chance at a three-point play.
Again, when you go up the line, when you shoot the gap, up the line defense, creating steals, and then you got a skill set, which means you have the ability to pass, dribble, and shoot the basketball. And then for a freshman, how about that play, the jump stop shot fake? DJ Singler's been a little bit banged up on the year. He's kind of the glue to this team. Everybody needs a player like him, does a little bit of everything. And the more basketball he can play, the more in rhythm he's going to get this year.
They're averaging 75 a game, with Singler realizing 11.5 artists for three. And now he is starting to heat up.
Well, we talked early on about how UT jumped down and started in the game, but what happens is fatigue factor, athleticism, size starts to take over. Oregon is starting to get into a rhythm now, offensively and defensively.
Burridge being guarded by Carlos Emery. Emery's really improved over the last couple of years defensively. Driving again inside and getting to the cup, Jeremy Hill. Nice move.
Jeremy Hill is one of those typical, we would say, even though from Australia, European-style players where he's great size but a great skill set. Again, with that size, he can still put it on the floor, drive, shoot, pass the basketball.
Artist hesitates to the baseline.
Some people might say everybody's able to drive, shoot. No. Some players are great drivers or slashers. Some players are great standstill shooters. And then some players can do a little bit of everything. That's what I mean by skill. They can shoot it, pass it, put it on the floor, and more importantly, read and make basketball decisions. That's the skill set coaches look for.
Artist goes to the bench with his second foul. Crossing over is Burridge to get to his spot. The fallaway jumper grazes the iron. Singler with the rebound. Out to Jonathan Lloyd, weaving his way through traffic and finishing with the offhand. He is something, isn't he?
Well, he's got that burst of quickness that's deceiving, that he can get you on the hip and get by you.
Michael Hale tripped up, and that'll stop time.
When you talk about point guard mentality, that's the ability, again, to understand the position. So not only do you get the steals, but here's a young man that has super quickness. Change of position, understanding rotations on the back line, understanding defensive philosophy. And when you're new into a program, even though you could be a transfer coming in, it takes time to come together as a team on the defensive end of the floor.
6 steals for the Ducks, Ernie, and 3 of them by Kissimmee. To the line is Michael Hale, and he hits the first free throw. UTSA shooting a high clip, 11 to 17, 65% here in the early going. But as Ernie mentioned, the 10 turnovers have led to those points off turnovers for the Ducks. Carter Woods Singler out on the floor with Damian Dotson and Lloyd the guards. This is Dotson, the freshman. Great pass. Woods didn't have control going up, did he, Ernie? But a nice follow.
You know, he's a little bit unorthodox around the basket in terms of just being able to look smooth, but the bottom line is get it done.
Hale coming off the screen of Larry Wilkins. Hands off to Jeremy Hill. Now Hale will take it into no man's land. Looked like Carter got a piece to fan it into the air. And up come the Ducks on the run. Dotson reverse fallaway jump shot.
It sure is nice to have players like Carter, Woods, Waverly Austin on that back line so you can apply more pressure. The bigger you are on the back line, the more you can pressure the basketball. Because you don't care if a kid beats you off the dribble because you have those shot blockers on the back line.
Cannon Burridge into the lane. And again, it's Carter with a defensive rebound. Lloyd on the run. They say he used his offhand to gain an advantage. UTSA will take over. Live men's basketball coming up Saturday starting at 3:30 with a triple header following our coverage of the Nicholls State-Oregon State football game. We'll tip things off with Oregon hosting Arkansas Pine Bluff, followed by Sacramento State at Arizona State, and a nightcap with Portland at Washington State right here on the Pac-12 networks. Jonathan Lloyd had 100 assists last year to lead this ball club. He is active, 5'8", spark plug out of Las Vegas, Gorman High School.
I like the fact that Dominic, and you look at players like him, Jonathan Lloyd, Dominic Artis, they have an opportunity to put pressure on the basketball. Damian Dotson, they can all get out and pressure and get up the lane. And now they switch to the 2-3 matchup zone. And what I mean by that, when the ball's in your area, you are in a man-to-man. Even though with zone, you have man-to-man principles in it.
Once again, getting to the rim is Jeremy Hill. And he is fouled. Foul on Tony Woods is his first, and it is the 10th team foul on Oregon. Dana Altman, the coach of the Oregon Ducks, took his team to Las Vegas. They beat number 18 UNLV on their court before better than 16,000, 83-79. Damian Dotson hit a field goal with 19 seconds left to tie the game and hit a couple of clutch free throws to ice it. And then they were down to Cincinnati in the championship of that tournament there. They were down 19, actually rallied to come back and led by 2 with about 7 minutes to go in the game before eventually losing to the Bearcats. Now they've got to make that stand up with an effort here tonight against UTSA. Woods misses and Hill with a rebound.
As a coach, you could not get a player a better shot than 2 feet from the basket with a smaller guy on it. He needs to convert and score that basket. But this team is very good in transition. They can score a lot of ways. They can beat you in transition. They can beat you in the half court by pounding it inside, and they have a pretty good inside-outside game with the jump shot.
21 to shoot. Damian Dotson, the entry pass to Woods. Turns off balance and had it stripped. Jordan Sims got a piece of that ball.
You've got to finish that. That's a dunk. You dunk the ball and you dunk the defender when you're that close to the rim. Don't turn around and look at officiating. They're giving Woods some good looks inside right now with the touches that he's getting.
That was a nice entry pass by Dotson. Singler D's up. Deflection on Burridge by Jonathan Lloyd at 5'8". Look at him get up.
Look at the ball pressure. They can still get after you. Pretty good pressure on the ball.
6 to shoot. What's Hale going to do? He'll hook it. Nice pass and a good find. That was Larry Wilkins with a finish.
EJ needed to come over and continue with his help and make them make one more pass with the shot clock going down to put much more pressure on a jump shooter than getting the layup.
Dotson drives in there. Looked like he changed a shot to a pass to Woods, and it's intercepted by UTSA. Roadrunners shooting 12 of 27, 57%, led by Hale. This man right here with 8. 3 other players with a half dozen. Good balanced scoring for the Roadrunners, trying to hang in on the road. Pick and pop. Wilkins unwinds. That one's off. Dotson the recovery. Lloyd out ahead to Singler. Running with his head up. And again, trying to pass off, but deflected out of bounds.
When you're 6'10", 6'11" around in there, and guards are giving you the ball, and you're 2 feet from the bucket with a little defender on you, you have to finish this. He gathers himself, but doesn't have great footwork there. And again, that's a strength factor there that you can't rip that ball through and dunk it. Now, when you talk about somebody who maybe wants to play at the next level, that's a play where you've got a drop stick, and it is a monster dunk over the top of a defender.
Ducks up 9. Emery, along with Artis. Kissimmee on the floor as well with Singler. Now Emery on the post. Artis knocks down the jump shot. Boy, does he have explosive extension on his jumper.
Well, he certainly does, and it's a nice play where they clear out and give him an opportunity to run a 2-man game. And again, for a freshman to come off that screen with that type of elevation and confidence in his jump shot.
Artis has hit 4 of 5, has 9 points. 3:40 left first half. Hill, nice shoulder inside the foul, right at the cup on Emery. This will send Enrico McGregor to the line for San Antonio.
When you're a freshman that can run a 2-man game and explode up like that with that type of confidence, I can't say enough control of this game right now.
$15 points off of 10 UTSA turnovers. 6 steals, 3 of them by Kissimmee. And to the line, Enrico McGregor, the junior from Nassau, Bahamas. UTSA, part of the Western Athletic Conference, but not for long. They'll be joining up with Conference USA beginning next year. landscape of college basketball and football continues to change, Ernie. I can't keep track of who's in what conference anymore.
Well, and I'm going to tell you something, because we still won't know until maybe 5-10 years down the road what all this means to the student athlete, because you don't hear that mentioned a lot. This realignment is about football and money right now, and it's not about athletes, and it's not about the student athlete. And I think it'll be down the road until you can tell the travel time, the time away from sitting in front of a professor and having an academic advisor with you on the road as opposed to being in a classroom. You know, times are changing right now. I understand the economics of it and everything else, but I think there's a bigger picture in this that's going to have a profound effect on all of us later on down the road.
Well, the game is internationalized, that's for sure. Here is Arslan Kassemi to the line. The Iranian-born Kassemi came over here and played prep and then played at Rice for 3 years before transferring here to Oregon.
I was in Saudi Arabia coaching from 1980 to 87. And from where it was then and looking at a young man with his body and his skill set, it's amazing how much the game has grown outside the United States. The NBA without boundaries is very responsible for that.
UTSA beats full court pressure with a terrific pinpoint pass thrown to Burridge for the bucket.
Wasn't so much the pass, it was the set against it, where they brought everybody up and then sent the guy deep and went over the top.
Dotson along with Lloyd. Austin on the floor on the dribble handoff. Singler has an opening for a jumper and knocks it down. EJ has bided his time. That's his first field goal made tonight. He's 1 for 4.
He's such a complete player that stays within the framework of a system. He's a system player, and sometimes he don't just take you one-on-one, but he does a lot of little things out on the floor at both ends of the court.
UTSA throws out of the double, and they find the open man. Good ball movement as Michael Hale knocks down a triple. Hale is 3 of 4 out there, has 11 to lead the Roadrunners. Oregon by 8, 2:29 left in the first half. Waverly Austin. Big man at 6'11". Giving to Carter, the freshman at 6'8". 12 to shoot. Left side Singler to the inline. Has a step. Couldn't finish. Carter volleys the ball into the air. Up and in. Now they're going to give Waverly Austin the bucket. They were both there. 10-point Duck lead. And the Roadrunners hanging around. Here's Hale. Again, blown by Lloyd. Lays it up and in. This is an impressive, nice little player here. Michael Hale, the senior from near Tacoma, Washington. Federal Way, 5'9". And so many terrific players that have come out of that area.
UTSA, they do a good job with their weak side help. They stay between the big guy and the basket. And you can score over the top, but you're not going to get a rebound. They do a pretty good job right now of blocking out. We talked about in the open, a small team, but they're getting their bodies on the bigger Oregon players and keeping them away from the basket.
Carter deflects the ball. 1:26 remaining in the first half. And Singler pressures Sims into a bad pass out of bounds. Another turnover coming up at half. The State Farm halftime report. Highlights of the top 25 first half highlights and stats of this game.
You know, when you work so hard, and it's not just coming back as a coach, this is the institution that sold me on coming out here as a player when you had a chance to play anywhere in the country. And I fell in love with Oregon. I remember coming out, it was raining. They took me up to the McKenzie River and they scooped the river water. You drink the river water. And I named my daughter Mackenzie. And not only that, they took you to the ocean. You never seen the ocean in the mountains before coming from Rockford, Illinois. So it's always special coming back here. And obviously in this magnificent building that we had an opportunity to be a part of building and putting here, it's just a great feeling being inside of it and seeing it in its completion now.
Well, Ernie, all I can say is it's tough getting old. It's my excuse. Here's Hale. In the corner, and that's off. And the Ducks trying to extend the lead here, leading by 11. In the corner, Dotson for 3. And deflected into the corner where Wood will corral it. UTSA shot the ball extremely well here in the first half. They've been able to stay in it, down 11 with 29 seconds remaining.
Well, they've got an opportunity to cut this to 9, cut it to 8 before they go in at the half. And my guess is they'll wait for one shot, run a high ball screen. And when you have a player like Michael Hale that can get to the hole, he handles the ball really well, and he can shoot for 3. Let's see what he does with it.
Hale gives way to the big man open. It's Woods, an open look at 3, missed it. Cover the rebound, and that will be the end of the first half here in Oregon, where the Ducks lead by 11. Well played first half by both clubs, 51-40. And Ernie, there was a lot of outstanding offense going on out there.
There certainly was.
Arsalan Kasemi, who transferred from Rice and has stepped immediately into the pipeline here at Oregon, has given them a boost. Defensively, 3 steals in the first half and averages 9.5 rebounds a game. Kasemi will start for the Ducks on the wing. Tony Woods will get the start along with Dominic Artis. Damian Dotson, the 2 freshmen starting at guards for the Oregon Ducks.
A little bit more active pressure on the ball by UT San Antonio. Again, you can see when they can put ball pressure, that takes out the guard play of Oregon, and you just stay behind in the post. Let the ball come into Woods and see if Woods can beat you. But it takes the ball out of the hands of a singler shooting, an artist shooting. You know, again, the ball pressure is key for both of these teams defensively.
Artist crossover into the lane, and then the hook pass to Kasemi to lay it up and in. Hill the other way, knifes into the lane, and Ernie, that's 3 times he's gone right to the bucket.
There's no way he should be able to do that with that kind of size on the back line. Woods needs to step up and take that shot and send up in the 3rd row somewhere. But again, Artis is a very smart basketball player, an excellent skill set to where he can see the basketball play, make the basketball play, and of course, when you have a player with the size and skill set of Kasemi, he can finish at the hole very strong. Basketball is about making plays. Do you see the play, and can you make the play? And obviously, can you knock down open threes as well, too?
That jumpers look solid tonight.
Sure does.
Back comes Hale. He'll answer with a 3-point shot. Oregon shooting 59% for the ball game, 58% for UTSA.
That's too high. That's too high for a team that I think has the ability to finish in the top 3 in the conference. If they can just tighten up that defense, their offense, I think, is really good.
Sims with an overplay and a steal, and then Burridge comes the other way to score on a runner. Damian Dotson looking for Singler. Swinging across the arc. Artis will take it. And again, here's a man in the passing lane. It's Sims with another pick. Good anticipation. Burridge will heave a 3. Kasemi saves it outside the Woods, and here come the Ducks. And a bucket. Boy, Artis is some kind of performer. And a timeout on the floor with 17:52 remaining.
What he is a player, because he has the ability to, he can beat you off the bounce, he can make the pass, and then most importantly, from a coaching perspective, he sees the next play on the floor.
Well, he's a winner, too, at Fenley Prep his senior year. They went 32-1. Wood for 3. Boy, he's gunning and scoring. And UTSA won't go away. Down 8 with 17:30 remaining in the game. Singler bounces low. Woods, nice interior handoff. Kasemi scores. Ball tipped out of bounds. UTSA retains it. Tune in Saturday for Pac-12 football. Watch the Oregon State Beavers put on a capture their resurgent regular season as they host Nicholls State, the Colonels. Coverage beginning at 10:30 a.m. with a football pregame show on the Pac-12 networks. Ernie Kent, Kevin Calabro on hand here in Eugene, Oregon, where the Ducks lead UTSA by 10. Jordan Sims. Burridge for three, knocks it down. Burridge with 13 on 6 of 9 shooting, and UTSA shooting 60%. Ducks turn it over and into the lane. Sweeps with a gorgeous reverse on the run. Michael Hale, and he goes down, and the young man is hurt.
Look at he fell on the knee. The move, he has that complete package, but he can do both.
Well, they finished their cursory evaluation of the knee, and they'll hobble off. Take a look again, Ernie.
Well, he's got the hesitation dribble. He goes up hard, just kind of comes down in an awkward stance there and twisted knee. So he always actually got a bump on the floor and a twist of the knee. It looked like the inside of the knee they're working on right now, and hopefully he's going to be okay.
Stepping in for him is Thomas Hygie, the junior from Houston, Texas. Oh, Gassimi with a jam. Gassimi is 6'7", he is 226.
But he's got quick
Sure
feet for a guy that big. He really gets from point A to point B super quick. And he's got the athleticism to then finish, but I just love the way he can make basketball plays. He sees the floor.
Artist with a steal ahead of Gassimi, makes the pass.
So for a guy this size, but he's very agile, Gassimi we're talking about, because he has the
side from Stanford head coach David Shaw and UCLA's head coach Jim Mora on the eve of the Pac-12 football championship here on the Pac-12 networks. Ernie Kent, who do you like to win in the Pac-12 championship?
I think Stanford is a big, strong, physical football team that can control the line of scrimmage. They got an outstanding quarterback, big tight ends. I just love the way they play. So I think they have the advantage, even though those two teams just played recently, to come back and get another win.
Brett Hundley, the quarterback, Jonathan Franklin. They throw to the tight end as well there at UCLA.
Remember they say you can't beat a team twice?
Yeah,
Didn't Michael Jordan beat the Clippers about 99 times? Don't tell me that.
Yeah, you're using the Clippers as an example. The old Clippers, isn't it?
The old Clippers.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the new Clippers here.
Both of these teams are going to have to do a better job here playing defense. You've got Oregon shooting 83% in the second half from the field, 100% from the three-point line. UT San Antonio, they're shooting 85% from the field and 100% 3-for-3 from the three-point line. Somebody has to step up and do a better job defensively.
Cannon Burridge with one to shoot and locking him down was Dotson. And he used up too much time on the shot clock, and that'll turn it back to Oregon.
Dotson, a nice-looking freshman, got a great body on him. Going to fill out after going in the dynamite weight room with the great strength coach program and everything else. He has a chance to just be a stud at this level.
Carlos Emery, Waverly Austin. Gassimi, Dotson, and Artis on the floor. Austin drives into the lane. Austin got it back, laid it home.
I really like him. I just feel like he needs to play more. He's got a good body on him, and he's got a better feel for the game offensively, it seems like to me.
Junior college transfer from Palm Beach is Waverly Austin, 6'11" and 270. Well, with those steps, it was dreaming. Thomas Hygie got away with a walk in the lane. UTSA will operate. They swing it out on the wing. Artis with a recovery. Damian Dotson along with Dominic Artis, two freshman guards, really work well in tandem together.
Both of these teams run a lot of two-man game with a lot of clear out. Here comes on this side of the floor again.
Sure if Dotson was lobbing it in there or if it just lost it when he went up.
I don't know, but I love the way he plays with no expression on his face. He didn't complain to the official. He just got right back on the defensive end of the floor. He's going to be a very good player. Waverly Austin. Now remember that name because here's a young man that I think that his skill set's pretty good. Very good offensive player. And in time, he's going to have to demand more playing time because he can get to the hole and finish with the left hand, finishes with the right hand as well.
First team JUCO All-American from Fredericksburg, Virginia.
When I say demand, his game is going to demand.
second call, and now Oregon's starting to lock up UTSA. 14 turnovers on the Roadrunners. 64-55 Oregon. So the Roadrunners staying right with them. Emery shuffles the steps in between defenders and a foul.
You know, the game is really simple. If you're open, shoot the basketball. If you're guarded, pass the basketball. And that time, he made a good move driving, but he's got an open player sitting in the corner. This ball needs to be kicked right there. Instead of trying to score over two, there's a wide open three-point shooter. I believe it was Dominic Artis sitting over there that could really stroke the basketball. That's the time when you give it up.
Yeah.
That's what we mean by rhythm offense. When it's your turn to shoot it, shoot it. When it's your turn to pass it, pass it.
Carlos Emery to the free throw line, where he has hit 21 of 26 coming into tonight's play. He nails that one. It's a good Oregon free throw shooting team, 75%. Of course, you have E.J. Singler out there at 875 coming in and was second in the country in free throw shooting last year.
That's why they have a chance to be good this year, because in those close ball games, they're a very good free throw shooting team. We saw it at Las Vegas, where they did a good job in the last couple minutes of the game and knocking down big free throws. But I like their defensive intensity now. It's starting to step up. Somebody needs to lock someone up in this game.
IT to Wilkins, right down the alley comes Sims, but rejected by Kissimmee, deflecting it outside to Lloyd on the run.
Coach Jim Moore, the volleyball coach, would have liked that, because that looked like a volleyball swat.
Explosive vertical
big time
jump.
spike here. You know, he gets up so quick, but just the fact that he's so alert and knows what's going on the floor. He's all
7.
That's a lot of experience playing in all of those international basketball games, playing against USA basketball, Argentina basketball, Spain. He comes here, and these guys probably look like they got little bodies compared to those players he's been having to play against.
The inbound Singler with the bump and the bucket. E.J. Singler.
E.J. just does a nice job of quietly picking when he comes at you right into the living room there and finishes, takes the hit across the head. He's one of those players, again, that he does a little bit of everything, and then all of a sudden, boom, you look at his numbers, he's had a complete game.
You recruited him when you were here.
He was Mr. Basketball in the state of Oregon, and he's one of those players that people looked at and didn't think he was going to be very productive at this level. All they have to do is look at that bloodline and see his brother Kyle, his mom, his dad. There's so many athletes in that, his cousins, his uncles. There's a whole heap of Singlers that have played football and basketball in this state. You knew he was going to be a great one.
Kissimmee got a piece of that one to trigger the break, but the pass deflected away.
EJ never could beat his mom at paddle tennis go out in the backyard. I was impressed when I came on the home visit with her cooking and her fact that she could beat mom. Mom could beat the dad and the sons at paddle tennis.
Carlos Emery in the passing lane explodes and then is tripped up and falls.
Weak side play here. He reads the play. That's a hard spill. He's a big, strong, tough kid. That's impressive that he gets up off the floor and stays in the game. If that were you and I, we would probably be down there for a week.
That'd be a traction. That was friendly fire. Waverly Austin clipped him inadvertently. Well, he's been hot all night long. Jeremy Hill knocks down a deep jump shot. We've been informed, Ernie, that UTSA's Michael Hale will not be returning to the game, and they are going to evaluate the left knee a little bit later on.
Well, I see him at the end of the bench with the ice bag. He took a hard spill, and you can see he's a young man. He's pretty frustrated right now because he's a player. He wants to be on the floor, in the action with his team. And he's sitting on the bench over there, and I think it's hurting him more that he's not on the floor than what the knee is bothering him.
The conference's active points leader is E.J. Singler. He's got quite a resume that he has built here in his years at Oregon. 13th player at Oregon with 1,000 points and 500 rebounds. Well, how tough is that?
Well, he's one of those players also that we never had to worry about him. He was always where he's supposed to be. In the classroom, in the weight room, in the gym. He's got a tremendous work ethic. And it's unfortunately he's been a little banged up because he's one of those players that needs to work. The more he works, the better he gets. And he has an outstanding work ethic.
Oregon up 13. Burridge will swing it on top to Sims, and they rotate it on the wing. Sims has it deflected away, goes to get it.
Look at the speed of Kazemi.
10 to shoot. And a wild shot offered up out of the corner. The rebound, Carlos Emery. Boyd picks up the tempo. Early offense, big man on the post, fronted. They'll swing it. Singler on the skip pass. Nice pass inside of Austin for the lane.
You know, again, this team is a team that hasn't played together for a long time. And the more continuity they get, the better they're going to be, because you can see they've got excellent pieces. They just need the continuity of playing together.
Burridge double teamed. Inside, nice pass redirected by Jeremy Hill for another bucket.
Jeremy Hill from that Australian Institute of Sports. People remember Ian Crosswhite, who played at Oregon, came from there, and several of the Gonzaga players come out of that Australian Institute of Sport.
Brock Modem, the league's leading scorer a year ago, Washington State as well. Watch Singler with a head up, scanning Ernie.
Boy, does a nice job of dumping it inside. Anytime you got a skill set, you can share it. They all know what to do when they get inside. When you talk about the Sony Game Snapshot of what's going on out here, this game is dominated in the paint. 42-24 in the paint. We talked about it early on. That's the difference in the game. This Oregon team is going to cause people problems with their ability to score inside and outside.
Both teams shooting an outstanding percentage here in the second half. And you can see why with a high percentage runner like that up and in. UTSA has hit 9 of 14 here in the second half. Oregon 8 for 11. Jeremy Hill will go to the line, draws the foul on the basket. And Hill, Ernie's put together a nice game, 14 points.
You bet he has. Brooks Thompson's done a very good job with this basketball team. And you talk about, again, a school that has to play a lot of games on the road. They're coming out here, they just got beat by 20 by BYU, and they're here battling again. Lynn Hickey, the athletic director, did a great job with the hire here. Of course, Lynn, I've known her for quite some time, been on some committees with her, and she was just recently on the selection committee before they moved her off. She did an outstanding job as UT is in the 2-3 zone to try to change up the tempo of this game.
Woods is back in for Oregon. Artis along with Singler and Dotson across the top. 7 to shoot. Skip pass. Artis. Time running down. What a pass. Threads it inside to Carter for the lay-in. How did he see that?
Not only how did he see it, but there was another big Carter, another great big man, Ben Carter, that can catch and finish. They've got a lot of pieces, interchangeable pieces inside.
Oh, what an outstanding pass by Artis. Burridge comes inside, double clutches in the air, and he lays in a tough shot. Oregon on top by 10. 9:44 to play here in an interesting ball game in Eugene.
Against the zone, that ball has to go inside out. You got to attack the gap. You got to go inside out via the pass or the dribble. There you go.
Dotson makes a nice pass to Woods, who slips the pick for the jam.
You know, I see a team again that they're playing well, but they're not playing as good as they can play because, again, they don't know each other. They're not comfortable yet with all the pieces. And when they get there, they got a chance to be an outstanding basketball team.
They're shooting 62% of the home court with a 5-day layoff.
Look at them. They all run. They're big, get out, transition. They attack. They continue to come. But the most important thing is sometimes coaches will talk about throwing across your body. You don't want to throw back. But this is just an outstanding no-look pass that threads the needle, and then you come back down the end of four, and there's running mate and Dotson. Another great pass. This basketball team has the makings with these two young guards and that excellent depth at the big position of being very good.
You talked about the experience that these two show and the confidence, obviously, the poise. They just play beyond their years, don't they?
They don't look like freshmen, and I look into the faces of players, and you can see where they're disgruntled or unhappy. These two guys are as calm as ever. Their expressions never change, whether they make a mistake or a big bucket. That tells me, again, you've got two special players in the making here. Oregon's going to be happy to see these two here for a long time.
Dotson can shoot free throws, too. An 80%er. He drops 2 here. (78-64), 8:54 remaining. Burridge on the run. The lean in, caught the top of the glass. Guess who's there? It's Hill for the recovery. but lost it out of bounds.
Great rotation that time on the backside by Damian Dotson.
Rapid ball movement. Carter trying to find Singler, deflected out of bounds. You got three guys on the court right now, Ernie, who are excellent passers, along with the other skill set, like this ability to get to the rim. Dominic Artis lays it in. To shoot. Roadrunner's steady and drawing the bump out on the wing. Singler.
We talked about this early in the game about, UT San Antonio did a good job early, and as the game wears on, last 8 minutes of the game, the fatigue factor comes in, and here's a bigger, stronger, more depth in an Oregon team that tends to wear on you, and they just can't stay in the game with them because they're just not as physical and they don't have the depth. But there's one guy out there right now that's having an outstanding game, and that is the Aussie assassin, Jeremy Hill.
Yeah, he's up to 17 points. Michael Hale on the bench with the bad knee with 18. His night done. So UTSA playing a man down, their second leading scorer on the year. 14-point Oregon lead. Pick and slip, and the ball gets away, deflected out by the Ducks, they say. And so UTSA will take it. Timeout on the court, 7:29 to play. And this one from Eugene. Ducks80.com. Along with Ernie Kent, Kevin Calabro on hand, the Oregon Ducks have been impressive. A sleeper up here in the Northwest, the Oregon Ducks, but not for long. Word's going to get out.
No, that UNLV game, I think, put the word out there because UNLV jumped all over at the start of the game, and 16,000, 17,000 people in that building, and they came right back. Those freshmen played extremely well, and they were right back in the game. And I think they sent a message to the rest of the conference that we're a team you're going to have to reckon with.
Damian Dotson in that game hit a big shot with 19 seconds to go and a couple of free throws to ice it.
Oregon, Colorado, Arizona, Cal, Oregon State, Stanford, UCLA. Those are all really good, talented basketball teams. This conference has definitely come back. Good young players, good young talent.
Hey, Coach, he was listening.
He's really good.
Woods muscles up and jams it with two hands.
Artis sees the floor. He's a very good point guard because he understands how to play the position.
Oregon opens up their conference play at Oregon State on January 6th. Whistle and a player control foul. This will give it back to Oregon.
That arc there on the floor is there for a reason, and on that weak side help, if you can get there, get outside the arc, get your feet set, it's going to be almost an automatic charge every time. I was talking about good young talent in this conference. The fact that you didn't have any coaching turnover in the conference leads to continuity because, again, it takes time to put your system in place. Dana Altman's done a good job with this program. He's done it with JC players, transfers. It's built kind of like UNLV, San Diego State is built. And, the thing about it is they've reloaded, but again, it takes time to get the continuity. That's why they'll come January, February, they're going to be a very strong basketball team with their numbers that are sitting over on that bench.
Hill misses at the rim, deflected out of bounds, and controlled by Oregon on the dead ball. Kasemi will come in along with Jonathan Lloyd. Shoot two.
He has a hard time putting the ball on the floor from the foul line. He dribbles it okay, but it's just the gathering. The footwork seems to be a little bit off. You know, he catches it, he puts it down, and he can dribble it, but he just looks a little bit awkward with the footwork just right there. And that's the thing. You got to swing that leg around and square up to the basket again. That gives you your power in your legs to go up over the top of someone and dunk. If you're shooting it kind of side straddle, you don't have as much power. Now you're going to more of a throw up rather than a dunk on somebody.
Woods can block shots. 51 a year ago. Set a school record formerly held by Blair Rasmussen.
You want to know why that's called a throw up? Because most of the time when you don't score 2 feet from the bucket, it makes coaches want to throw up. You're 7 feet tall, dunk the ball.
That time he made a nice catch.
And a square up and finish.
Good pivot. Fred Richardson on the floor for the Oregon Ducks. Another one of the fine freshman class. He's out of Houston, Texas. Beautiful left hand. The offhand offered up by Enrico McGregor. And with 5:17 left, Oregon's lead is 14 and a timeout on the court, a 30-second timeout. At Clearbrook High School in Houston, Texas. 4 years he played varsity there, so he potentially could be a scorer off the bench. Boy, this team is so deep. How do you get time? You got to win it in practice, certainly, and then maximize it when in game conditions. Hill, nice overplay. The spin slipped out of his hands. Batted out of bounds. Last touch by UTSA.
Well, the depth is a good problem to have, and I'll tell you how you get time. That bench is a great motivator, so it needs to be put on the defensive end of the floor. Yeah. Who's going to work and who's going to defend, because they've got a lot of pieces that can catch and score around the basket. Obviously, they got 2 excellent young freshman guards.
Entry pass to Kasemi is overthrown by Emery and out of bounds.
They just need to continue to be focused on the little things, what they need to do to work and get better. Guys need to get in the gym and continue to shoot the basketball. Bigs work on technique, footwork. As a team, your cohesiveness, particularly your cohesiveness on the defensive end of the floor, and really set the big picture in mind as to where do they want to be a month from now when conference play gets well underway.
Oh, Woods erases the shot. Not only that, directs it right to Johnny Lloyd for a possession.
I mean, he does some spectacular things at times.
How about the feed from Lloyd, who had 100 assists last year to lead this team, to Richardson for the bucket. Richardson draws the assignment on Burridge. Pull up flip by Burridge is off. Deflected to Hill, and he is hammered. And so is Kasemi. Kasemi got nailed.
We talk about the pressure defense, and look at this weak side window wiper there. And obviously, when you have good defense, it leads to good offense at the other end of the floor. Great no-look bounce pass there by Jonathan Lloyd for the finish by Richardson.
Jeremy Hill from Cairns, Australia, to the free throw line. UTSA just running out of time here, down 16 with 4:11 remaining. An impressive Oregon team that had 5 days to work on some things since the loss to Cincinnati.
UT's running out of time and running out of gas because, again, the nature of the game has worn them out. The size of Oregon, the size of their big people inside, how physical they are, it tends to wear. So they did a good job early in the game. Obviously, lost a great player that went out of the game in Michael Hale, but Oregon has an opportunity to be in the upper echelon of this conference and somewhere in the top 3-4 teams.
Carlos Emery spins and gets on a magic carpet for a two-hand jam. Emery was on that all-tournament team. He had 15 and 9 against Cincinnati, 16 and 9 against UNLV. Lifting off out of the corner, Jordan Sims hits a three-pointer for the Roadrunners. 89-76 Ducks, 3:24 left in the issue.
Roadrunners battled hard here until about the 8-minute mark where they took a circle out of gas, and then the size factor took over, and obviously the depth and the physical nature of the game.
Hill on the push to Larry Wilkins. Stumbling down the baseline is Hygie and a foul on the Ducks. Watch
you talk
Carlos
about
Emery.
athleticism. This is what we're talking about. A long-arm athlete that explodes up and can defense, and that will come with continuity and repetition. You don't get defensively, you don't get great overnight. You have got to have repetition work, and they haven't been together long enough to get that kind of work in.
UTSA shooting nearly 57% for the game on 29 of 51. How about Oregon here in the second half? 15 of 20 they have hit. And for the game, Oregon shooting just under 64%. Richardson defends the ball. Burridge into the lane, determined effort. He's fouled, and the young fellow will head to the line.
You know, Coach Altman, again, will use this as a teaching tape because this team is not the caliber of teams that you're going to face in the Pac-12 conference. And you talk about, and he knows this, Arizona, Cal with their great guards, Arizona with their athleticism and their ability to spread the floor, Colorado, skill all over the floor, UCLA, big, strong basketball team. You've got to be tougher and more defensive-minded at that end of the floor, and that's the thing that I'm sure he's going to use this game to say, look, gentlemen, offensively we're getting better. We've got to get a whole lot better defensively.
The senior from near Tacoma, Washington Federal Way, Michael Hale, had a terrific game tonight. Had 18 points, things rolling his way, made an outstanding acrobatic move into the lane, but fell and there's some difficulty with the left knee, and they'll appraise that following the game tonight. Wish him the best. 2:43 remaining in this one, and Oregon out on top. Richardson getting some run now with Lloyd. Artist back in the contest. Flicks it outside. Lloyd a three. Ghassemi kept it alive, but grabbed by Hill. Up the floor, he picks up the dribble. Artist plays the passing lane and intercepts.
He not only gets into the lane and makes the pass, Lloyd misses the jump shot. He comes back, disrupts the dribbler, and then jumps into the passing lane to make the play, all from a freshman.
Ernie, that's 12 steals tonight for this ball club. Ghassemi has 4 of them. Artist with his third. 2 minutes remaining. Richardson the set shot from 3. Ghassemi the rebound and the putback coming in.
Now, he grabbed that rebound. He was on one side where he went up, and the hand went to the other side to grab it again. You don't teach that ability to have a nose for the ball to go get rebounds.
Just strong. He's got 16 points to go with 5 rebounds.
Strong and tough-minded to make yourself go again and again and again. Not that you get the rebound every time, but the mental capacity to make yourself go. It would make him such a great rebounder that gets his numbers.
Yeah, he has filled up the stat sheet. At the last time out, 20 minutes, he had 14 points, 4 boards, 3 blocks, 4 steals, 4 assists. I mean, that's phenomenal work. Artist, another fine inside for the big man and the two-hand jam. Well, an impressive outing for the Ducks tonight. Ernie will be here December 1st, coming up Saturday night. Arkansas Pine Bluff will be here to take on Oregon, the first of a triple header.
How about that play?
Unbelievable. And the two-hand reverse jam.
A big man with the ability to get up the lane like that defensively.
Wow.
He missed it on the first swipe at it, then came back and took it out the hand. He has excellent eye-hand coordination at both ends of the floor, and he has the ability to anticipate at both ends of the floor.
Well, if you're a Duck fan and you have not been down here yet to see this ball club, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to them to come down and see in this outstanding facility this Oregon Duck basketball team this year.
The facility is magnificent. This team has an opportunity to be outstanding because, again, they have several pieces. They just need to continue to work. And there's a lot of little things they're going to be able to work on coming out of this ball game. I'm going to see the improvement from this game to seeing them again on Saturday. But certainly they have the makings to have being an outstanding team in this conference.
95-78, the final. Oregon over UTSA tonight here at Matthew Knight Arena. And the 51st win of his career at Oregon for Dana Altman. The scoring, well, we knew this team could score 75 points a game coming in, and it was balanced tonight, Ernie, no question about it.
Well, we talked early on.